This is the Book of Life installation. It is an artistic project that I want to share with you. Well, first of all, let me present the team. Edson, he was the original artistic mind behind this project. He has a long work in interactive installations that um, explore the relation between memory and technology. He's famous for several installations inside and outside Brazil. One of them is Inumeráveis in Portuguese, which tries to recover the memories and the lives of the victims of COVID. Roberta, she's a ballerina and an actress and a research in the intersection between art, dance, and education, with a focus in technology. She's a researcher in the University of Rio Grande do Sul. John is a web designer and a geek, and he has done several projects both in technology and in art. André is a electric engineer and a maker. Has developed lots of projects, worked in both industrial projects and maker project, open source projects. And Wesley is a designer that works giving support with support to many artists and many projects in the technology and electronics development. He's very interested in 3D, in rapid manufacturing, 3D printing, and is helping us make the satellite through. And of course, there is me, and I've given my brief presentation. Well, space, art in space. Space has by itself a very strong appeal in people's hearts. It is it is the final frontier. It's possibly the only unknown we still have in our world. But historically there were very few artists and art installations that were thought to be made in space. One of the well, among those, we have this picture, which is the falling astronaut. It is a small sculpture in aluminum. This figure that was left on the moon. It was left there by one of the Apollo missions, and this is the first and only art um, art presentation and art installation done outside the planet. More of that. More on that. There was the Nikawa CubeSat, which was besides their technology demonstration mission, they had um, an artistic show, which was the use of a very strong LED panel that could shine Morse code messages that could be seen from the ground, and they use that to transmit messages that could be seen by anyone under the satellite. Well, there is few, and we strongly believe that there can be more. Well, and this is what we were working on. The the artistic concept of Book of Life is to capture the memory of our society and transmit it to a higher state of being. That's like going to heaven. And this is what our satellite does physically. We could like people are accustomed to being elevated in this spiritual way in a metaphysical sense. Like you would live after your life, you have an afterlife after you pass over. You could become immortal through your legacy. But in a more realistic sense, we want to inspire people to ascend to heaven, but in a more physical and technological way. And this is what the Book of Life intends to become. And the Book of Life wants to become a library of lives, of stories that will be stored in space forever in heaven. Well, this is our concept of operation, our ConOps. It is extremely simple. This is as simple as pocketqubes get. There will be a user terminal it could be accessed via browser, where people can enter their names. Their names will be transmitted to our cloud infrastructure. The names will be stored in a database, and that database will be uploaded to the spacecraft when it's in line of sight. After the upload, the person will receive an acknowledgement that their name is saved in our vault. The satellite is a vault of information that stores the names and the stories of those people. And well, this is basically it. It's as simple as a satellite can be. Well, our state machine we have a launch mode, of course. After 30 minutes, 30 minutes after the release from the deployer, we would get to battery charging mode. Satellite will operate in the minimal possible um, operation capacity. When the battery is charged, the depth of discharge is um, the depth of discharge is well 20%. It will go to normal mode. Normal mode is the mode where the satellite is able to receive names and downlink the acknowledgement. If the satellite is in line of sight of the ground station, it will start receiving and transmitting acknowledgement. If it's not, it will instantly go to the information consistency mode, where the database of names would be parsed. Single point events will be corrected. The database is backed up in 3 separate copies, so the copies can be compared and repaired. And it works in this information consistency mode until it gets back to line of sight of the installation of the ground station, and it resumes normal mode, receiving and storing information. If for some reason the satellite has a great depth of discharge, more than 60% of the battery is depleted, it will go back to battery charging mode until it is charged again. If that happens, it will lose some passages of the ground station, but that is acceptable considering the acknowledgement message will just not happen, and the database will be kept for transmission in the next passage. Well, it's basically that. Well, we're working with a very, very, very simple architecture. The satellite is entirely composed of PCBs. It is shorter than a normal pocketqube because on the base, it will have a dome, a golden dome. The dome is 3D printed in gold, and the satellite itself is made to look like a cathedral because it will store lives, it will store spirits inside. So the pocketqube is a short cubic prism with half the height of the. It has like half the height of a normal pocketqube, and the remaining volume is occupied by an hemisphere of metal. The satellite utilizes a small LoRa radio. It has a battery. It has an onboard data handling with an ESP32 core. It has solar panels, body-mounted solar panels in all faces. Here you can see the backplate, which has these 10 solar panels. It has the EPS on the backside of the backplate, and all the side plates of the satellite have the large solar panels and the power handling on each panel. The solar array is connected by is connected to this sorry. The solar panels and the computer are connected by a bus, and the satellite has no internal plates. All the electronics are stored on the surface plates. The satellite is hollow inside. In that volume, we will store the battery, which is a lithium polymer battery, so the satellite can operate even if it's not in sunlight. Well, this is it. This is what I wanted to explain, and I would like to have a quick discussion, answer questions, and talk about the satellite with you. Thank you very much.